What's up, YouTube? Today we are going to be building a long-term winter shelter. If you watched my last video, you saw that I kind of built a flimsy, short-term, kind of you're stuck in the woods, you need something to do right then, and you need something to get you out of the elements. Today's going to be more of a comfortable camp out area. You can just sit there and you need to wait something out. So I've cleared out this area. Obviously I'm not going to be able to get all the snow just because it's still snowing a little bit. And before I get started, I want to give Rick Harrison, aka The Wolf, big thanks for giving me a shout out in his last video after my first video. He was very helpful. You guys should go subscribe to him, give him a thumbs up, and in case you aren't already following him, he's a pretty cool guy. So let's get started. Alright guys, so what we have going on here right now is I'm making a frame for the bed. The bed is going to be, as you can see, we have these stakes laid up on top of there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these logs and I'm going to bring them over and I'm going to put them on there like that, and just kind of rest them together on top of each other like that. And I'm going to do that on both sides and just kind of keep going with that until I think I get high enough. I think that should be about that high enough right there. And I'm gonna do it on both sides. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the back, and you can see I have smaller ones here, and I'm gonna take them and kind of notch inside of these, and on the top and inside of these, and I'm gonna put them in the back, and then you're gonna fill this whole thing with leaves. So I'm gonna bring you guys back here when the frame is done. Okay? So we built this frame for this bed, and we're gonna fill this with leaves. This front part's gonna be open, and you'll see why later. And you got the back to hold the leaves in, and you're gonna want to pile them up about halfway, and just keep packing them down as you go. So I'm gonna pack those leaves down, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay a bunch of logs across the top of it. See, so this is obviously a long-term winter shelter, so it's for winter, not summer, rain, and anything like that. So we're gonna lay a bunch of logs across the top of it, all the way across, and then you're gonna pile leaves and snow and any debris to keep that heat in throughout the night. So I'm gonna fill this thing with leaves, cover the top, and put the stuff on top of it, and then I'll come back when we're done with that. Okay guys, so before I get this thing completely done, I wanted to explain the importance of the side of the shelter to you. When you get to the point where you're putting leaves on and you have all the top done, what your main thought is going to be is, I want to pile as much leaves on the top as possible. But that is completely wrong. You want to take these sides, probably build them out about a foot and a half, and you just want to pack leaves down in there, make sure there are no holes, because most of you probably already know this, but when it's cold outside, it's not really the actual temperature that'll get you, it's the wind blowing through. So you got to make sure that there's no wind blowing in the side of the shelter. So what I'm going to do is we're going to finish covering this top, and I'm going to build a fire in front of it, and probably a long fire would be your guys' best bet to making this shelter. So I'll do that, and then I'll come back and show you guys when it's all done. Alright guys, so we got the shelter completely done, and I have to say I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. And one of the main things that I was trying to prove in this video was, to make a nice shelter, you don't have to have all these fancy tools that all these people have. Now, it's just, I came out here with a hatchet and built this nice shelter. You can do so much more with one tool than you can do with 12 tools. Because when you're carrying around all those tools, you got specific jobs for those tools that you think that they need to go with, and you won't use that tool for and it just takes longer, and you carry more. It's just a lot more. So you can do a nice shelter with when you have limited tools. So this shelter is actually really warm and really nice. I built a fire in front of it, just kind of keep some heat in the front on your face. And if you walk around the edge, you can see we packed leaves up the sides. And like I said, it's important to make sure there's no wind running in the sides, because that will kill the shelter. You have to make sure that there's no wind going through the side on this shelter. So we got all that done. I'd like to thank Derek and Broderick for helping me on this shelter. It would have taken a lot longer if I hadn't had their help. So I want to show you guys how I would personally get into the shelter. Personally, I would go feet first and just kind of move your way in here. And it's gonna be small, obviously that's a given. And you just gonna crouch down in here, kind of curl up, and just kind of lay down. That fire is actually bringing a lot of warmth in here. I don't think you guys, if you build a shelter like this, you will feel the warmth of this fire in here. It is very nice. So if you guys want to see more shelters like this, more shelters, our next video, I'm going to have my two buddies get in the video, and we're going to give you a walkthrough of our wiki up that we built. We spent a lot of time on it. We actually started it in the summer and ended it just recently. So we're going to do a walkthrough of that, and then tell you a story about our survival trip a couple years ago. So give this video a like, please subscribe, and see you next time.